Hello, ladies and gentlemen. How have you been? We are set on the Benjamin Zulu show. Such a time, you all know that. Now, it is said that it is always good to be in a relationship with someone who has a soft spot for you all the time. But again, most of us have actually been caught up in that very need of having somebody who has a soft spot for us. Our needs are driving us to set ambiguous standards. And some of the standards that young women have set for themselves is going for financially able men. So today on the show, Benjamin is going to give you reasons why it is wrong to always seek dating a man who is rich only. Are you ready for that? Hey, Benjamin.
Hello. And you know, we are coming from a time where women did not have a control over the life they would live.
Yeah.
This notion comes from the previous generation of women, the mothers to the current ladies. Mm-hmm. For them, women were not working, they were not so educated, they were mostly to stay home. Even if they are working, it's on a very small scale and just to be home. And that's where you hear a lot of the popularity of the housewife. Mm-hmm. I can't wrap my mind around how somebody can decide to just be house. How will you ever buy yourself a car? Hey, how will you buy the shoe you want? Your self-esteem is boosted by achievement. Always remember that.
Yeah.
Of course, there is work to be done at home. There are chores. But you can't be doing chores all around, all day. And remember, we separated this from when you are babysitting. When your baby is very young, it's encouraged you reorganize your life to be fair with the child. Mm-hmm. Even if you're a career woman, you're supposed to, those first defining years, the 1, 2, 3 years, don't just hand over your baby to assistants and nannies.
Yeah.
Be there, the skin contact, the monitoring, work online or reduce, but be here. That is not what we're talking about. We're talking about the women those days were not supposed to have a career as such. In fact, they were stigmatized and they were seen like working women are uncontrollable, working women are proud, who she has money, you can't manage her. They confuse the submission with the subduing. Mm-hmm. All right? Yes. So those women, every status, everything in life came from the man they married. For them, it is very important because it was very important because if you're going to drive, it's because you married a wealthy man who can give you a car. Mm-hmm. So you're going to wear well, dress well, it's because the man can give you good dressing. Because if you're going to travel, it's because he can finance you to travel. If you're going to have anything, good house, good anything, it was coming from the man. So that generation transported that notion. If you want a good life, get a man who has money. You getting where it's coming from? Mm-hmm. That time, because of the suppression of women's potential and how they were held back, it was important. It was important for them. It became almost automatic. The kind of life you live depends on the kind of man you marry.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It became almost automatic. So the wives of doctors, the wives of lawyers had a better life. So you would hear, this lady dressed well, because the husband, because of the husband. The husband works here and there. So the husband. That generation of women, everything they enjoyed in life came from. And even when they themselves, some of them happened to have money, they had to compensate by giving the man all the money to control.
Yeah.
So they can appear submissive. Okay. It was even looked down upon when she's learning.
Yeah.
Like, she does not have true spirit of a mother, of a wife, and that was the notion. So in the previous generation, that notion prevailed because women's potential dreams were not valued. They were to be given status and money and lifestyle by the man and the kind of work he does. Are we together? Mm-hmm. Yeah. The last generation. So where did the notion come from? In this generation, the mothers taught their daughters that way. Mm-hmm. They transported look for a guy who's driving at least. Look for a guy who has a future. Look for a guy. Future is good, but many of them are talking about, they took what you can see now.
Yeah.
What car does he drive? The family he comes from. Brahma Opio. Who is Opio? Where are the Opios from? What does the father do? What kind of family is that? So you have to marry from the family of a chief, prominent person, military. Somebody, I mean, the father to the one you're marrying. What kind of people are they? Money-wise, not character-wise.
Yeah.
How much money do they have? I mean, what life will he give you? So if the Brahman who is trying to marry their daughter came here walking, versus another David who had come with a car, they will prefer the one who came with a car. And Brahman can be simply dismissed.
Yes.
They don't want to know anything more about the honesty of Brahman, how genuine he is, how hardworking, the size of his dreams. How committed, how solid is his character, how humble is he, how kind, how responsible and hands-on. Just a guy who came driving, and that's all. They don't care about anything else. So those mothers to this day are damaging their daughters.
Yeah.
They are misleading. And do you know what? When it is their son who is marrying, let me show you where the hypocrisy is. Now look, this mother has both a daughter and a son. She instructed and pestered the girl to bring away the guy. The son, on the other hand, is just starting life. If he tries to marry a girl, and the girl, socioeconomic is always your parents, what they lived. They give you a socioeconomic status. So they can be either the middle class, the ones who are working, the teachers, the police, the business people here, the people who can pay their bills, but they don't have so much to spare. But they have salary. The other families that are no income, you wonder how they survive. Hand to mouth, odd jobs. So there are some of us who came from there. There's no name. What does your father do? Small scale farmer. There's always a universal answer. If you have no career, subsistent crops, subsistent farming. Subsist means you plan to eat. You plant it and you eat it for food. You know. So if now she's asking the daughter to bring away the guy, but her son is not wealthy. Does not come from such a big name. And he tries to marry a lady, and then what will the mother encourage that other family? Don't worry, this man will become rich soon. And yet she's changing her language when it comes to the daughter.
Yeah.
Do you see the hypocrisy? I told you to notice the same hypocrisy, misleading. When her own daughter has a child, she will encourage a guy to marry her even if she has a child. And the guy has no child himself. She will say, this is a very good girl, and praise. But when it is her son bringing a girl who has a child, do you notice?
Yeah.
Clearly hypocrisy, misleading. When it is on our side, it is good. When it is on the side. Bramwell, I got a father-in-law who, that man, I salute that man. Not materialistic. He is not looking at what he's gaining out of it. He was talking to his daughter. How is that man to you? Man, I wish men would borrow from that man. He was not looking at what is he bringing, how much money can they deposit right away. My father was deceased. I'm coming with my mother, who does not have a career. She just struggled to bring us up like many African women. And I'm coming there with my mother, and no bicycle, no motorcycle. We're just a hopeful young man. Sometimes, you can take to your in-laws to be his hope. You're very confident that actually I have plans. I'm not driving now, but I have. So how did this girl then convince? And I did not even have a salaried career. Now that's another problem, my brother. Let me tell you. After they ask about cars, they usually ask about the size of your pay slip.
Yes.
And some of us don't have pay slips. But you still have hopes. Still have plans. I was very passionate, but I could not quite describe my career. Hey, counselor, counselor. Yeah? I do not want to mention a life coach because it's not known here.
Yeah.
Many parents have never heard of it. What is that? Is it technology? No. Is it the computer? No. So, but somehow, Bramwell, one thing I respect about my girl is she's visionary. Get a woman who is visionary. Visionary is to see what is not yet evident, but you can sense it clearly. She sensed I had a plan and I was passionate. I always tell girls, get a guy who has a fire. Even if he has a big salary but no fire, you go nowhere. You go nowhere. Maybe he has a big, well-paying. he's very skilled, so he got a well-paying, but himself, no drive, no much he wants. And when money comes in the hands of a person who has no drive, they waste it. They misappropriate it. And because they are not growing, they'll be phased out by time, circumstances. There will come other more visionary people, all right? Or they will hold you back. You get there working yet, but they're on this level. When they get all the money, they spend it on this level, spend it on this level. So I came here proposing to marry this girl, but I do not even have enough money for the bride price. But I was going to look for my friends and the Brahmas. They will assist me. I will pay a portion of what you need to pay. We'll start life. What impressed them is what I had been doing the last 10 years. How I had transformed myself, how I had studied, acquired this master's. Now I'm pursuing this PhD. Now I'm studying this. I'm working in some company here. This is what I'm doing, So I encourage parents to borrow from my father-in-law. He asked the daughter, how is he to you? Number two, what kind of life is he planning and what has he done with the life so far? All right? Yeah. Bramwell, I saw a lot of grace and miracle. Finding people who could understand it before it was clear. That's why I always respect that man. I never want him to, when I'm in a position to help, I always want to help without keeping any record. That's the one man who did not put any conditions or allow shenanigans, grannies to come and goes from wherever to bring conditions. They can bring a lot of drama. Bramwell, when it comes time to marry, you will see another side to your wife. When you're doing those things, I respected the way she sheltered me to discuss with the parents what they have, this how much we can get for this time, but for us we want to start a relationship. Because I'm the one with him, surely where can I run away from? You know me. You may not know him so much, but you know me. So she negotiated for a relationship rather than a transaction. You want a woman who has enough sense to know you can be stretched and you pay everything, but you feel like you are done with these people. Yeah. When you have been harassed, you pay and you go. You don't want anything to do with. When you are vulnerable, they took advantage. But when you are vulnerable, they defended you, man. How will you feel, man? Grace and overwhelming gratitude. That's what I feel, man. Every time. Because they had all they're working, they're professionals. I will go into a socioeconomic status that is higher. Now, in my family, we are 11. These ones are 4. They are working, they have a career, they have cars. Here we are. When you compare the two homes, it was quite ambitious for me. Can you imagine? The mother is a teacher, the daughter is the career line you look at, and this is a very well packed family. When you hear only 4 kids and these are professionals, you can picture. When you hear 11 and okay, contrast is quite clear. Polygamy. I'm coming from polygamy. I'm talking about my own to make it not scary. Okay, you say 11 is just to avoid causing alarm. Some details about our families are not presentable. Where we come from, brother. Don't be announcing all of them. You need to look for a version of the story that is quite decent, okay? These are not your decisions. These are decisions with your parents. Why are you embarrassing yourself with them? You should have several versions of your story. Both are true. All of them are true. But it depends on the audience, the context. If you're feeling in HIF form, you give them the whole version. Okay? You're introducing yourself to potential, the sanitized version. Don't be saying, but my father has 2 other kids. I also No. You need to have a decent way of presenting your case. You're not lying, just wise. Wisdom comes in knowing what not to say. Okay? In which context? So, Bramwell, I would have been rejected firmly if I had approached those mothers who look at the car I came driving. All right? You need women who don't just look at what you're driving, they look at what drives you. They drive. All right? Yeah. I think the joke you've heard that those people who marry a man with a television over the man who has vision. They will have to watch the man with a vision on that television. Yeah. Okay, those days television was a sign of status. Okay, and there are homes that some of us, we are the ones to bring the TV. Don't ask me whether there's a TV home. I am the one to bring it. Don't ask me whether there's a car. I am the one to bring it. Surely. So then one of the blunders I'll warn you about is when don't conduct too much opinion poll. I nearly made that mistake. Don't take your girl around every important person in your life asking for their opinion.
Yeah.
Important people, Bramwell, I told you when you start marrying, you're the most important person. The next person is that person who has a colleague thing, who does not have a parental authority, so that if they say no, you can disagree. If it's Benja who doesn't like the guy, you know, Benja is sometimes he's too fiery. No problem. Leave Benja alone. You need a Benja who you can comfortably disagree without feeling cast. Yeah. What if it was your senior bishop and he said, you know, would you dismiss that opinion?
No.
You get the problem.
Yeah.
You need to get advice from people who you can engage and interrogate. What made you say that? What about this and that? What about? But sometimes I think, you know, so that it's more conversational. I told you when you begin time for marrying, stop being under many authorities. They will confuse your life. All right? Yeah. Continue learning. Continue educating yourself. But be the head of that family. Be the head of your life. If you pray and you feel the peace of God, man, that's enough. That's enough. If you feel the peace of God about it, that's enough. So their mothers were misleading and they're making girls miss out on good people. So this is the problem. The girls of today, so I've told you why it's persisting. One is because the mothers are considering it and valuing it too much. Yeah. The second reason is because the girls are lazy. They're looking for status using shortcut. They're looking for easy, ready-made wealth, ready-made status. They want to be carried. Imagine we still have women who think like that. Yeah. They say, other things you can negotiate. For me, money is very important. Money takes time to build unless I inherited it. Our children can start with some cars and houses. We'll give them a starting point in life. But you see what? We'll just be giving essentials, utilities to facilitate their dream. It's their dream that will give them the real money. Are we together? It's what they want to do with their life that will take them far. It's what is driving them. And that's what Bramwell need to be cultivating in our children from the word go. A lazy. So what they're risking is this generation. What they're risking is they think when they just come to a comfortable life, now they have made it quickly, now they can dress good dresses. But there's a problem with the person who acquired you and they can sense you chose them because of what you get from them. They treat you like the property. They treat you with a condescension. They treat you with an attitude that it's like they can tell you anything anyway. They're the ones giving you money. Yeah. That's one problem. The person who acquires you and they know money matters to you, this kind of money you are sending, the other one you are sending, they also never respect you like a partner. They always see you like you are somewhere below them. Somebody, almost like on the status of servant. They may not even, this is the problem you have with the men who can't tell their wives their whereabouts. Yeah. What he is investing, what he's up to. You are not partners. Do you get? If you marry a guy and basically because of the amount of money he's giving you, the lifestyle he's giving you, and that's what is drawing you to his life, you will never be equals. Yeah. You will always be somewhere below. And he will never tell you what he's up to. You know you are respected by your partner when you are included. I'll give you different definitions. Yeah. Bramwell, if your girl is open to you about what she's up to, including financial things, the most sensitive things always involve money. Okay? Yeah. Hey, this is a simple litmus test. Don't beat about the bush too much. Okay? If a girl tells you who has been hitting on her and how she handled it, if she tells you the kind of money she's earning, what she's giving, there's nothing else she's hiding. Life is not that complicated. Why do people complicate things? Which other secret? Which other? It's always about our money life and for women it's about men and money. Okay? Okay. It's that simple. They tell you, I have a secret to tell you. It will be among those. Men and money. It will be one of those. So, her financial life is usually the sensual, the sexual side, how she behaves, the principles she has, how she has resisted people offering opportunities, but they seem like they had other motives, how she's telling you how she's, and when you are talking and that's what she's updating you, you are the most important person to her. Those are things they don't just tell anyone. And the kind of savings and money and what she was considering, and even asking for your opinion, without fearing that if she tells you she has 100,000, you will ask for it. And you should win respect by never being greedy. Manage your life how you are surviving. Before she came, what were you eating? Yeah. Don't start buying suits because you date this girl, she's a lawyer, she has gotten a job for 1 million, and you have never seen 1 million in one place, except in newspapers and YouTube videos. She's a lawyer. She got a job, familiar. She's asking you, now I can see they have credited, just thank God, I have given tithe. Forget about the story, continue about other things.
Yeah.
Although you are working with your 12,000. Okay?
Yes.
Sometimes we are paid a lot, but when we deduct all the bills, what really remains? 12,000 for the whole month.
Yes.
That's what I'm working with. Although they paid you 70, but after all the but the girl is talking about 1 million. Or as you talked, she showed you and she's happy about the bank balance. Oh my God. Now don't come up with ideas.
Yes.
Win her trust by being contented. Man, the love of money is the root of all evil. Root of all evil. We need money, but you should not be in love with money or greedy for it. You need money, you value it, but you're not its servant. It says, all things are permissible, but you should not be brought under the power of any. You need to have money, but don't let it overpower you. The greed for it. So these girls of nowadays, what they're missing when they're looking for a guy who has money is, this is history. The money he has so far is history. Maybe it was inherited. Maybe it was corrupt. Maybe it was shortcut. Maybe it was clean money. But he will bring you in, and he will never see you, even never include you as a partner. There's another group that knows, and you see them on social media saying, if you want any woman, get money. Not the virtuous woman. I want to describe for you the opposite between virtuous woman and the one full of vices. Now, virtue and vice. So I want to describe the wise and the otherwise. Okay? The wise woman sees what the values that you live by. Okay? The otherwise look at the valuables you live with. Are we together? Yes. Are we following the class? The wise one, you're looking at the values, the honesty, how you're consistent in checking up, how you feel for her when she's experiencing things, how you make her laugh, smile, bring out a girl, bring out a happy moment. You live within your means. The values you live by. The otherwise talk about the car he drives, the kind of house, the shoes, the money he sent to me, the pizza, the what, the valuables. That's why you see them on social media. If you want any money, with money you can get any girl. Not any girl. Only the otherwise. Yeah. The materialistic. The short-sighted. If you read Proverbs 31 about that woman, she's described as being industrious. And that's why I told you the Bible has no, when you study Proverbs 31, that woman had sheep at sea. Can you imagine? She was a merchant. She would consider a land and buy it. She had garments, she had business, she had workers. Bramwell. Can you let your woman be Proverbs 31? Let her have workers, business, jobs. Let her fly off. Let her do her thing. Don't tie her there under you. There's a risk with those of us who have big careers and publicity. We can swallow our women within our image. True.
Yeah.
Be careful. Be careful. I always encourage my girl. You know your passion? Let's finance it. You go. I want to sponsor it to make sure you fly it. We can always partner, be wife and husband. We are working together, but still the passions you are born with, not all of them will be contained here. Of course, she's the most gifted girl who dresses me up. She's so gifted in designing. That part is so well. But I don't want to make her busy day by day throughout the day if her gifts are not being occupied. Sometimes you find that you and your wife's gifts are intertwining. Like maybe you're doctors, both of you. You're media people, both of you. And you start a show, both of you. And it goes very well because your gifts are converging. All right? But even then, don't make her like you are ordering her schedule throughout the day. She may have other gifts of baking, mentoring some girls out there. Let her have some time, some days. She's just doing some things that are not exactly in the family business. Are we together?
Yeah.
So it's okay to build a family empire, but don't confine your woman. She could have other flavors and tastes that are not exactly contained here. That's Proverbs that one. She's being described how she's working, and the man is not there to order her around. The other problem with marrying a man, if he only has money, is he could be on his downswing. Maybe now he has money, but he's deteriorating. Yeah. Please notice this. These otherwise women look at what is presently, the money that is currently here. The wise woman looks at the money that is coming.
Yeah.
The guy is driving a car now, but can he afford another one? Maybe he has a land now, but how is he behaving? Some people, they have money now, but they are into drugs. They are self-destructive. They are not self-controlled. They are flirting with anyone. They think they can use money to get anything they want. They are so scattered, it's only a matter of time, they will deteriorate. The wise woman looks at, okay, Brahman, I may be earning more than him, and I hope you get a woman who's earning more than you. I really pray.
Amen to
All
that.
the best. If you get a woman who's driving, I'll be so happy for you. You are already one step ahead. All right? But don't marry her because of.
Yeah.
Okay? It's an added advantage, but it's not a qualification for the job. There's a quality they add there and say, having a diploma in this is an added advantage. But it's not there. Yes. We can hire you even without it. Make sure the woman, her money, what she's earning now, is only an added advantage. But look at the character. If she also happens to be the right soulmate for you, the one you flow with, and also she's earning well, be happier, man. That's an added advantage. Money gives you mileage. Money gives you direct mileage. There's a time I was telling you, there's a girl you can marry, and because of the way you combine so well and the way you move fast, you overtake all of us who started working ahead of you.
Yeah.
You acquire assets, you build an empire quickly because of the way both of you are aligned and the way you agreed. Are we together? So it matters the kind of financial philosophy she lives with. Now, last day, so we have said some men have money now, but the money is going out. Some other men have some more money now, but it is coming in. They are growing, they are looking, they are already making steps, they are advancing, they are making, advancing. If you already have a plan, a strategy that is solid, and the girl can see you're determined, she can believe that. That's enough. And you wanted to sound your plan. There's an advantage of marrying when you don't have money. You may not get too many fake people. You have nothing to interest them. Marrying when you have already a name, that's why you see the superstars are very difficult finding a good woman.
Yeah.
Trying to marry when you're already a superstar, it needs a lot. Because everybody's after you now, they can see what you stand for. They can see that there's future with you. You can't tell who is true, who is fake. In fact, virtuous women don't run after you. This a video I saw around. Some guys went carrying out pranks. They had a good car, sport car that was just a sport car. This guy was working like he's working for his boss, and the boss has parked there. And then the boss comes, so this guy will stop a lady, hey, how are you? When they are greeting, the boss would come making noise. You, now look, why have you parked? What are you doing? You should be taking care. So the prank was, the boss would quarrel the guy while he's talking to the lady to see how the lady will react. All right? But they happened to prank a solid woman. They pranked, the boss made noise and drove off and left the guy here because he's annoyed. But the lady he had stopped, actually he realized, although it's a prank, she's just nice, and she did not get angry or anything. She was just calm. And when they left, comforted the guy. Don't worry, I feel so bad for you. I hope you don't have to stay with such guys for so long. You should also stand up to them and tell, demand some respect. And when they finished conversation and he walked off, there was a Ferrari parked by. He did not know whose that car, whose it was. They thought just one of the person, another person who parked, because he's just walking. My friend, actually it was Rolls Royce, not Ferrari. It was a Rolls Royce. The lady opened the Rolls Royce. The guy ran back. Oh my God! She had already agreed to meet him over the weekend for coffee. She was just a young lady, a model. She's just a model. No. They were bragging over some sporty car that is opening with the doors going upward. Now, this lady is moving with Rolls Royce. You can check prices for Rolls Royce for you. Rolls Royce are painted with hand.
Yes.
They're not blown with this brush. It's hand painted. Even it takes months to manufacture one.
Yeah.
They always make it. They don't have too many ready-mades because they wanted to customize it to you. So it just started trending because they landed on a wife material accidentally.
Yeah.
A humble woman who had money. Tell our girls today, the target is not look for a guy who's loaded. It's for you to be a woman of substance. Like the Shunammite woman in the Bible, who had enough money to build a guest house to be used by the prophet whenever he happened to be around. Now, surely, how much money do you have to build an idol house that will only be used occasionally? You're wealthy when you can afford to put up a structure for occasionally when the prophet is around.
Yeah.
Not in the town to rent it to other people. No. I noticed that you come around. Can we put up? They put up that Shunammite woman. And this woman they put in the prank were both women of substance, but still very humble. She did not mention her car. The guy noticed the car accidentally.
Okay.
Tell our women to aim at being solid and substance. I admired that girl. He came to tell her later it was a prank, but it was him who was pranked. The surprise was not on her. This girl is so down to earth, easy conversational, so empathetic, no pride, and she's driving a Rolls Royce. Those cars are not in Africa. You need to Google to know them. Okay?
Yeah.
Thank you.
And they're accountable.
Yes, they're accountable.
You see, Benjamin, I just like how you are putting, because, again, these are the mistakes I've seen outside there. Because our ladies have made it that money to them is everything. But again, Benjamin, you look at it, some of these ladies will argue, yes, Benjamin, that guy should... I'm not interested in money per se, but if it is character, is okay. He has a hope, he has a dream, just as you've narrated. But what if, remember, we have these elements that never have a way of translating their dreams and their hope into reality. They will always have a plan. Everybody has a plan.
Everybody has a vague plan. The difference between concrete and realistic plan with wishy-washy, daydreaming. Everybody says, I'll be a millionaire one day. You never know.
Yes.
Even a drunk guy says, don't just I can be anything in the future. The difference, and I told you, I mentioned it, and I saw the wisdom with my father-in-law is that he wants to know what you've done so far. I told you not to always ask people where they see themselves in 5 years to come. Ask them where they were 5 years ago. Evidence of progress. Remember that.
Okay.
Stop just hearing anybody and say anything. At some point, many children in Africa say they want to be neurosurgeons, like Ben Carson.
Yes.
Anybody can dream with anything. When I used to mention that doctor thing, it never clicked into one. I never used to have the vocabulary, but my personality cannot go to those careers that are very scientific and structured. I was very artistic by nature, but there was no personality test. They were just teaching us the same thing, all of us. I'm happy for this CBC, competency-based curriculum. It's allowing you to flourish in who you are and to take your path. So the difference between a real dreamer and a man who is going for his calling, who you can trust that they'll carry out, is one, in what they've done so far. Number two, in life force, the fire, the primarily, if you interact with a person, the energy they're existing, you feel it.
Yeah.
You will feel it. You can find a very calm girl, like that lady I've explained of the Rolls Royce. Humble, chatty. She did not look at the guy whether he's the servant to the real boss. And said, would you want to meet me? Yeah, I'll be happy to meet you on Saturday. See you at that time. They have exchanged numbers. Yeah. What kind of energy is that? Down to earth, yet dream, ambitious. She's not holding herself back to drive no more cars. Rolls Royce, the door opens facing the other way. Our doors open like this. This one opens the other direction. You know it's a Rolls Royce. And so it's two things. What he has done with his life so far, how many strides has he made? And I told you the steps are not always proven by having solid money. He's having personal development, acquired some education maybe, done some things, educated someone. I told you, when you study women, don't just look at the material. It may not be evident so far, but when you see what she has done practically, how she has improved her life. So look at the guy how he has improved his life so far. Number two, how you feel persuaded by his energy, his focus. And as you interact, does he keep his word? Is he a disciplined man? Does he come on time? Does he lie? You never marry a person who lies useless lies. If a person lies on the phone, where are you? They're in thicker than they tell you they're in Githoy. Don't.
Yeah.
When a person lies on small things, they lie on big things.
Big things.
Lying on small things when the risk is that small. It means when the risk is this big, it will be more likely to lie.
Yeah.
So this person is honest, is trustworthy, they keep time, they're disciplined, they're organized, they're attentive, they're compassionate. If you get those qualities and you see he's driven, you see he keeps his word, he's persistent. Brahma, if you interact with a person for a week, how their life is going on, you will get it. If they are lazy to wake up, if they are dragging to work and they hate it, they have a hatred for the work. They're just here for they can't stand the job, can't stand the colleague, can't stand the conductor, can't stand this, can't stand the other. Is that a person you can trust?
No.
You want a person who is calm and who can accommodate situations. Who can, when they are wrong, they admit it and they learn from it. Yes.
I like that. That is the time we've had, guys. Thank you so much. Always, our gracious ladies understand that when you make money, your everything is going to be broken by the very money that you've made. Everything. Think about it. Go for the character. Thank you for watching the Benjamin Zulu Show. Till next time.